moved to Guadalajara, I dreamed about showing my new life to the people I love the most. That dream became a reality when Emily, one of my closest friends and my first visitor, came to town. This is the story of our visit, filled with art, adventure, laughter, and a few unexpected moments. Let's dive in. Emily's flight was delayed, so I decided to check out an art exhibit at Platforma. The first floor showcased ancestral transmission, a collection honoring indigenous art and techniques. The intricacy of the Huichol iconographies and techniques and spiritual themes in these sculptures were breathtaking. The summaries of the exhibits in Platforma were written in English, Spanish, and in the Nahuatl language, which really highlighted the cultural richness of this region. Fun fact, the term Tapatio, used as a nickname for the people of Guadalajara, comes from the Nahuatl language, connecting the modern city to its indigenous roots. On the second floor, things got weird. The exhibit XYZ explored humanity through mutated sausages. Yes, sausages, depicting existential themes. Mutation of sausages as a form of irony and existential abysm. Each of the sausages had a humanistic quality with the absence of conscience and identity, as a statement that the inability to self-analyze leaves us humans as just pieces of moving meat. It was equal parts fascinating and unsettling, like an artistic fever dream. Let's just say rotting sausage sculptures aren't for everyone, but they definitely make you think. On the way back, I stopped at a mushroom cafe filled with fungi everything, from mushroom crafts to, well, actual mushrooms. The whimsical vibe was irresistible, and I couldn't leave without buying a shirt. When Emily finally arrived, it was emotional, the kind of scene that turns heads and makes strangers smile. She's one of those friends who brings energy wherever she goes, and I couldn't wait to show her my new life here. We kicked off the next morning with breakfast at Peligro al Fondo, a queer-friendly spot with amazing food. Their breakfasts and coffee are divine. I highly recommend. Then we wandered through the city, stopping to smell the flowers, literally. That afternoon, we went to Teatro de Gallardo for Ricky and Emily's first orchestra concert. The theater is breathtaking, with its gilded details and intimate seating. We sat on the second floor, giving us the opportunity to embrace the entire scene. It felt like stepping back in time, and the music filled every corner with magic. After the show, we made our way through the center, enjoying the busy Sunday life around us as we made our way back to my place. Over the next few days, we explored some of my favorite spots, like Gabinete Coffee Shop. It's an oasis in the middle of the city, with lush greenery and a restorative atmosphere. Emily and I had one of those deep, soul-nourishing conversations over coffee, the kind that reminds you why friendship like ours are so precious. Thanksgiving would be coming in the next few days, so with my friend Anna, Emily and I went to Costco to get supplies for a 12-person party we would be having later that week. We were successful in wading through the long lines and getting the needed supplies. Later in the evening, we went to Cafe San Pedro off of Chapultepec and had some Italian food to mix things up before walking home to chill for the night. I even took Emily along for my violin lesson. She tolerated biking across town like a champ, but after that, we decided to take it easy and explore on foot. We wandered around town a bit, checking out Santuario del Mártires. The inside was breathtaking. And a park that Google had us believe was the Botanic Garden. It was not. Finally, walking by El Santuario back through the center, watching the life and music of the weekday pass us by, stopping at times to enjoy a little shade from the heat. Once we were back home, we prepared a lovely dish of cheese and fruit before going through the workspace to relax and work through the afternoon. That evening, we rode our bikes down to Ibimasu, a delicious sushi and ramen place near Chapultepec, for dinner. Also highly recommend. The next morning, Emily was really craving a croissant, so we stopped by a small cafe in Colonial Americana located in the Via Libertad shopping center before we went on a tour around town with Mayra, a knowledgeable local tour guide who speaks both English and Spanish. We explored the cemetery in the center and then went to the cathedral nearby where a service was happening. This place is huge and beautifully decorated. We continued our journey with Myra through the center, stopping at the government building that is decorated in the murals of Jose Clemente Orozco, a contemporary of Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera. These are expertly done and call to mind the politically divisive and powerful imagery. The upper halls have floors of marble and look out onto the spires of the city, while the inner chambers are also decorated in the works of Orozco. The halls of the lower level have statues dedicated to the valiant rebels that fought against the government oppression in Guadalajara and are lined with fresh trees. We made our way back over to Teatro de Gallardo, stopped at the broken chain statue, and made our way back to see the fountain and statue decorated to the founders of Guadalajara. There's also a statue dedicated to the woman who said, "I won't go any further, we will stop here and set up our town." The shops lining the streets sell many different items of clothing, from the more dressy to the cowboy and the casual. Emily bought a new stylish pashmina scarf to help protect her from the sun. We continued making our way through the town, enjoying the life around us, stopping in front of Las Cabañas to see the art display put in front, mocking the powers that control the city: the government, the big ears, the health system, the couch, religion, the giant chair, and the people, the couch made of dead bodies. We then dropped by the giant market San Juan de Dios, which was set up with many shops selling things for the coming Christmas holiday, as well as many other market items. After the tour, we made our way down the street to El Pilón de los Arroyos, a quaint and beautifully decorated restaurant in Plaza Nueve Esquinas Corners, where we had queso birrias, spicy salsa, and too much delicious agua fresca with guava. Of course, no bestie visit is complete without getting matching tattoos. Macala Tattoo Studio blew our minds. It's a mix of an art gallery, cafe, and tattoo shop. Art was even being put up while we were there. So we signed our waivers, met our artists, and told them what we wanted, and waited in calm and beauty while they prepared it for us. The place is full of great vibes, and I felt safe and secure in Guadalajara knowing that I was working with professionals who took the time to make sure that they were doing it right. This is not my first tattoo, but it was my first neck tattoo. We got matching tattoos saying, "As we are," inspired by the phrase, "We don't see the world as it is, but as we are." After the tattoos were done, we did a little photo session that felt like a JCPenney photo shoot, then enjoyed a little bit more of the art around us. As we left, on the wall was displayed the words in Spanish, "Art is like entering the universe of the human mind, a manifestation of ideas that transcends the limits of imagination and come to life outside the mental sphere." To celebrate our new tattoos, we went and had drinks at Habanero Negro, and we dared another first again with the local dish, aguachile prieto, a ceviche-type dish with raw shrimp cooked in lime juice. Thanksgiving was the highlight of the week. I would be hosting a dinner that night for 12 people, so while I began prepping the turkey the day before with a saltwater bath, I began cooking and getting it ready for consumption early in the next morning. In order to use a larger kitchen, we prepared the meal at my friend Anna's house. First thing in the morning, we ordered a new container of gas, which was delivered to her house directly with a tune and set up right outside her kitchen. Anna left me to work in her home while she took care of some business, and Emily and I put the turkey into the oven to cook. While we waited for it to cook a few hours, we made our way across town again to Gabinete for lunch and drinks. Coming back to get some other dishes like green bean casserole ready, we then prepared the ingredients to get ready to go, and we made our way back and brought the food with us to the roof of my building to have a lovely dinner with friends. For many of them, this was their first Thanksgiving. It was a mix of cultures, cuisine, and gratitude shared with people who've become like family to me here. And I was proud to prepare a meal for them and show them how grateful I was on this day of thanks. To wrap up the trip, we rented a car and escaped to Termal Posala Spa by Lake Chapala, an hour and a half nearly outside of the city of Guadalajara, so we could have a bit more freedom from the city. The views at Termal Posala are relaxing and peaceful, and the thermal baths a new and exciting experience for us. Each of the pools were filled with natural mineral water that is then supplemented with a variety of wonderful additions. While there was a cooling regular pool with dragonflies flying above it, The other pools contained lavender, rosemary, jamaica or hibiscus, and red wine that we were able to have a little sip of while we soaked. I've never had an experience like this before, and it was exactly what Emily was looking for all along. This week, we rushed around doing things, and she needed this time to relax. The service was impeccable. In between dips in the pools, Emily and I enjoyed reading by the pool and the breathtaking nature surrounding us. We stayed as long as we could, and then we made our way back at sunset through the gorgeous town and driving back, enjoying the views of the sherbet color of the sky surrounding us. We ended Emily's last night with my friends Antonio and Anna at La Tequila, the well-decorated restaurant outside of the center, where we were able to savor a few new foods, tasty beverages, and the best of company. The next morning was hard, not just because we had to be at the airport at 4:30 in the morning, but also because it would be our last time seeing each other for possibly a year or two. The goodbye was bittersweet, and I will miss her dearly. This trip was a reminder of how important it is to share your journey with those who matter most. Emily, I love you, I'll miss you, and I can't wait for our next adventure. This is Pato's Path. Follow along to continue to walk this journey together.